The nurse's shoes squeaked across the linoleum floor as she adjusted my fore. My vision throbbed with each pulse in my skull. Stitches pulled tight above my eyebrow. My ribs ached under thick bandages. Dried blood cracked at the corner of my mouth. And then he called. Dad. He didn't ask if I was alive. Didn't ask who attacked me. Didn't even ask if I could stand. Pay rent or get out, he said. I blinked, staring at the muted TV in the hospital corner. A fake sitcom audience laughed in empty bursts. I'm not paying this month, I whispered. There was a pause. Static. You think you're too good for this family? Then he arrived. Walked into the hospital like he owned every breath in the room. He stood at the foot of my bed, staring down at me like I was dirt stuck to his shoe. His name clung to him like a stain. You're weak, he sneered. Lying here playing the victim. You're not special. You're nothing. Nothing, I repeated. He slapped me so hard my jaw snapped sideways. Pain exploded through my bones as I crashed to the floor. Metal clattered. The floor ripped out. And in the silence that followed, something inside me moved, not shattered, clicked. A lock turning. Bruises were just camouflage. People stared at those, not at the eyes hiding the truth. It had started with a knock on the bathroom door 3 weeks earlier, late at night. You in there? It was his voice, but he wasn't talking to me. I yanked the door open. She was there, my girlfriend, half-dressed and frozen. Dad stood behind her, pulling his shirt on like he'd just finished a workout. She stammered. He smirked. I asked nothing and walked away. Because when you're raised in a house built on threats, you learn that information is power. Emotions are weapons, and you never fire too early. But my hands shook that night. Not from anger, but from calculation. How long? How many times? Why her? No answers. Just silence. She avoided me. He kept smiling. So I waited. Let them think I was stupid, weak, forgettable. Let them underestimate me. It was the last kindness I would ever give them. 2 toothbrushes in the downstairs bathroom. One was hers. She didn't live here, but somehow she stayed overnight, always when I wasn't home. I watched their patterns. Her calls dropped whenever I was at work. Dad left the house 15 minutes before she arrived. Careful, but not smart enough. I installed an old burner app and cloned her messages. Every text, every call. The first message cut sharp. You're better than him, she wrote to him. He's just a boy. You're a man. My stomach twisted, not in heartbreak, but in cold anticipation. DNA tests were easy. One of Dad's beer bottles. A long blonde hair from her sweater left on my bed. It wasn't simple betrayal. It was a pattern. A sickness. She was 23. Dad was 51. I was 25. She used to say I reminded her of him. Now I knew why. I sat through every dinner like a ghost. Fork tapping porcelain. Their laughter too loud. My face blank, but my mind sharper than it had ever been. The test results arrived. Positive. His DNA. On her. I printed the results, folded them neatly, slid them into a plain envelope, and handed it to her in the kitchen on a Tuesday. She looked at me like she might still lie her way out. What's this? I stared. Didn't blink. Didn't speak. She opened it. Read it twice. Her lip shook. We didn't. I tilted my head. She went silent because she knew the truth had buried her. I turned away and went to the garage. Dad stood there. I handed him his copy. He glanced at the paper and paled. This is... I walked out before he finished. I didn't need his excuses. Didn't need anything. The next morning, I packed everything, not clothes or books, the house. The deed had been in Mom's name. When she died, she left it to me. Dad never filed the paperwork. Never imagined I'd check. Never dreamed I'd dig through the attic and find the will he pretended didn't exist. The house was mine. He was a tenant. I called the sheriff's department. Filed the eviction. Legal. Fast. I even paid the fee. By Friday, he was served. You have 30 days to leave, I said, handing him the document. He stared at me, lip curled. You can't do this. I already did. He tried to shove me again, but I didn't flinch. He saw something new in my eyes. Not fear. Authority. I walked past the girl who used to sleep in my bed, now curled on the porch like a kicked dog. She tried to speak. I lifted a hand. You're nothing to me. 3 steps. Door closed. Silence. Now the house is quiet. Too quiet. And I like it that way. I sleep with the windows open. No footsteps. No voices. No lies creeping under the door. Sometimes I sit in the living room and stare at the empty couch, wondering if he misses someone to control. I don't. He spent years teaching me how to feel nothing. I just returned the lesson. He'll never hit me again. Never steal from me again. He forgot the one rule all monsters forget. Eventually the prey learns to hunt. And I learned well.